This is Damian Alexander. I'm super excited for this year's El Tour de Tucson, the 36th annual. I'm going to be riding for every beneficiary with the goal of raising $36,000. The first video is to follow right now, and it is of Arizona Children's Association. I can tell you the content is great. I'm working on the quality of the video, and they will get better. A big part of also what I'm doing is trying to introduce Tucson to all the phenomenal opportunities to volunteer and to what specifically our different charities do. So hope you enjoy this, and have about 30 more videos coming soon telling about all the great beneficiaries of El Tour de Tucson. There were so many things about the foster programs that I had never even thought about. For example, what happens when you turn 17 or 18 and you're transitioning from being a kid in the program to being a responsible adult? Well, what's great is this program they have called Thrive, and right now they're looking for mentors if you're interested in getting involved.
She described a 2-year commitment from a caring adult that would like to take a foster person that's aging out and become a support for them.
Not only do they work on getting kids into foster homes, but there's also dealing with all the medical needs that the kids have to deal with.
The best nurse practitioner providers, very flexible with seeing our clients. We work hard here in our medical office, taking care of all the appointments, rescheduling cancellations, prescriptions, prior authorizations for prescriptions. We provide
What's telemedicine?
Telepsych medicine is a sort of a Skype kind of medical provider that's seen. We specifically have one medical doctor that does telepsych for us for our 5 and younger patients that we have that need medication management.
Tell us about foster care licensing.
Well, you need to be at least 21 years old. You have to pass a background check, have to be fingerprint cleared. There are certain standards as far as the home, and we help you get into compliance with that. And we're in great need of foster parents from babies to 18-year-olds. A good percentage of the people that we work with are kinship providers, so the kids have gone to live with their grandparents or their aunts or their uncles or that sort of thing, and then we license them specifically for those kids.
Okay, so what is the CARE program?
And that stands for Kinship Adoption Resources and Education. And that's an amazing program, because if we can support grandma and grandpa taking care of their grandchildren, they don't go into a traditional foster care situation. So we have what we call kinship navigators, and they're almost like a GPS to the system. So they get a person, an actual person, to help them navigate the system. The thing we do at the care center is we partner with SALA, Southern Arizona Legal Aid, to provide guardianship clinics to help these families get legal guardianship of the children in their care, because without legal guardianship, they can't even take them to the doctor.
Right.
Or sign them up for school.
So that's a lot of what you're doing, is the logistics of teaching people how to go through the system and navigate the system.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
The care center, our care family center, works real closely with all the services here. So to get them enrolled in all the different services they need: foster care licensing, behavioral health services, a parenting class, for example.
What fees are associated with the adoption process?
If they're adopting a child out of the system, which is DCS, there is no fee.
Oh, really?
And the
Just time.
Pima County Attorney's Office, if it's an uncontested adoption, they'll do all the legal services without any fee.
Okay, so we do a lot of things trying to make it as easy as possible to help the kids get there. That's
We
great.
don't want the kids in the system if they don't
Yeah.
need to be.
Permanence is always the goal.
So then, if they are adopted, what does Arizona Children's Clinics, are you done at that point, or do you still see a lot of those kids in transitioning into adopted houses?
Well, they're going
Or
to
is that another
still
program?
need their behavioral health services, for example. If they were involved with kinship, then they're going to keep going to support group.
So
they also-
those services are still provided then, even after adoption? With so many kids in the foster program who are siblings but in different homes, is there anything that is done in order to make sure that the siblings remain close or at least get to see each other?
Or in the fall, we reunite siblings as best we can that have been separated, because when you have large sibling groups, it's very unlikely that they're going to be placed together. So what we try to do is at least once a year get them together without DCS, without just a fun day. So they're playing games, they're not being supervised by their DCS workers or parent aides and that sort of thing. So yeah, we all, as part of the Foster Adoptive Council of Tucson, which there are 18 agencies, we all get together and we collaborate and make that happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what kind of, like, as far as donations and things like that, and I know money is always a wonderful thing to donate, but are there other donations or other, besides time and money, is there any other kind of donations that you guys need? I know there's a theme among all the charities that money is always appreciated. Also, people volunteering with their time. Is there anything else going on right now that people can give back, or do you have any special needs?
Right now they're doing the big backpack drive, so we
Back to school drive is always good, because if you think about it, when children are removed from the home, it's usually just with the clothing on their back. So one thing we do is the Just for Me bag. So being removed in the middle of the night, unexpected, it's always an emergency situation with the clothes on their backs. It's scary, it's traumatic. So we do these things called Just for Me bags, where they get a bag that's just their own with toiletries, new pajamas, everything always new, and a teddy bear. So that's, a comforting kind of thing. But back to school time, we want them to have the best chance at success, just like every student would have at the beginning of the school year. So we want them to have new school supplies, new lunchbox, new backpack,
new shoes.
New shoes, yeah.
Shoes is the big one. Oh yeah.
And it's school uniform too.
Yeah.
All those kinds of things that any other child would have who's living in a more normative situation. We want children living in foster care to not stand out and be different. So we want them to have everything new for the beginning of the school year, just like any child would have. So those items need to be donated. Those, gifts in kind need to be donated.
Okay, great. And where do they give those gifts if they?
They can bring them right here to Arizona's Children's Association. And if any company out there wants to do a back to school drive, like I belong to a breakfast group, and every year it's so wonderful. This breakfast group, Tucson Networking Connections, they do a backpack drive where they buy 25 backpacks, and then all the members stock those backpacks with new school supplies. Underwear and socks. Underwear and socks you don't usually think of. Those are really important for back to school, so that you're starting the year on the best foot forward, right? So if anyone wants to do a back to school drive, please contact me and we'll get you all set up with that, with the list of what the needed items are. We'll work with the schools and find out what everyone needs, and we'll bring you the box even for the back to school drive.
Excellent. Thank you.
So basically, what I do is like recruit, train, and then license families. We follow them through the licensing process, and then work to match them with children, to have the children placed in their homes. And then if the child remains with the family, if they can't go back to their own parents and that family wants to adopt them, then we stay with them through that process as well.
I grew up in a family that was very big in the arts, including a family foundation called the Rose Petal Foundation, and I'm curious, is there anything that you're doing that is helping the foster kids experience the arts?
So we have an art therapy program, and there's just something magical that happens when you have hands busy working on art. You think of it as just creative, but it's so much more than that. So we have art therapy programs both for young men and young women. So I was actually able to sit in on one of the young women's art therapy programs, ages 13 through 18, and I designed a paper crafting project for them. And I got to see how magical that is with the art therapy. So I decided to do the indoor ride for El Tour to benefit our art therapy program.
Excellent. I hope this was informative and that you now have a greater appreciation for the Arizona Children's Association and what they do in the foster care program and their place here in Tucson. It's amazing all the different programs that they do provide, and I hope that you will make a donation and help me in my ride in El Tour de Tucson. I think I'm going to circle back and redo this video at some point, just because it's the first one. The content I think is wonderful in that it tells what they're doing, but my video is definitely in need of some improvement. But I appreciate it if you made it this far in watching, and please make a donation, and let's see what we can all do together to make Tucson a much better place for everyone.